I officially finished my fourth semester here, and actually, I still have two assignments left before for my final exams. But let's say, I will not go to college anymore for doing my exams or attending a class because it's all finished already. It's so everything going so fast. I just feel like yesterday I'm still a new fresh graduate from my high school, and I just a new student in my college, and now it's halfway already before I graduated, and I still can't believe it, like how fast time flies, and it's so beautiful. If I look back now, there's so many things that happen in my life. Every semester giving a really deep lesson for me, and maybe because back then every time I finish my semester I don't have the talk to sharing what I talk, the lesson that I got from that for each semester, because every single semester have their own unique lessons that I learned and I got, and it's impact my life so much. But because back then I don't have any ideas to make this kind of video, so maybe it will remind in my just in my head, in my heart, but I will not share it here because the fact is already past. So I think even I try to give you the lesson that I got back then, the feeling and the vibes will be really really different, and that's why I think I will just share the lesson that I got from this semester, because I think if I'm is a character in novel, for example, the timeline is really exactly how a story will go. The start is like the the challenges, the struggle, like just in the slow vibration. But the more I go and the more life goes on, the struggle and the challenges start to raising up. It's just like the novels, and it's just like when you are reading a novel, and that's the time when the story got really really excited, like excitement, and really vibes up because everything just start to feels more like you have so many things and so many new opportunities, so many challenges, and so many new perspective that comes out at that point, and at the middle when you start raising up, and everything, the struggles, the friendship, the school that you're living in, the environment, your talk, your perspective to yourself, and so many things just like raising up, everything is raising up, and it's happened in real life, and it's I can feel it really really clearly how my life goes like that, and it's already really really beautiful for me, and that's why I think I'm so grateful that I have this realization to took something like this and document it, because this is really the starting point, one of the starting point in my life, because I this semester is really really special. I have some lessons that I got, but before that, I will tell you why this semester becomes so special for me. And I think there is no other semester that can replace this semester. And actually, every semester is really special and have a new stuff for me. But I think the stuff that I got in this semester is just so 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 different. What is the reason? Let's just go straight to the story. I think because actually this is the semester that I hit my rock bottom, and I've never felt something like this before, like never in my life. Maybe back then when I'm still in school, high school, junior high school, I I maybe have this kind of past, but it's like this gray area because I still have my family back then, and it's really will hit you different when you have someone. And even though, for example, my relations with my family back then, for example, it's not that good. For example, I'm still like being so emotional. I still have a bad perspective towards my family. I feel so isolated because of them, or and so many things. But the fact that they are there, even though I'm not realized, it's something that makes myself feel safe, and I don't have any force to make myself go out through something. I don't feel the survival mode that much because I know there's something that I can rely on. And especially for my daily basis, my food, my when I'm tired, I know where to take a rest, etc. But when you don't have anyone, it's really really different. And the fact that you only have your god and yourself, and no one you can really rely on to anyone in your life. That's why I think when I finally hit this kind of thing in my life, it's so hard. And I think the feeling is, I still it's so clear in my head that how dark this world is when you hit that rock bottom. And I think in this life you will hit those pace several times, but maybe this because this is the first time, it's really beautiful and really a memorable things for me to keep and to share for sure. And what is the reason why I can hit that rock bottom? I think it started when I go to university, and everything it started when I not live with anyone with my family especially. So I have no one besides myself, and at that time you have no other choice, guys, right? Other than start to take a look to yourself, and everything that happened, the mistakes, everything becomes really really clear. And you know which one is your fault and which one is others. Because back then when I made mistakes, I will think that it's my family that making mistakes, not mine, and I don't really know what is the problem to myself. But the more I go alone, I start to reflect so many things and so many problems inside of me that I have to fix and I have to deal with, and I have to learn and I have to make a progression in that thing. but but the point is, because I start like to learn so many things, etc. And the more I go to this semester getting higher and higher, I learn so many new things. And maybe I actually start to like feeling these struggles become harder when I reach my third semester. But at that time, so I think why I don't hit my rock bottom in different my the last semester, like first or second or third, because I think all those semester I have my coping mechanism and I can distract myself to thinking about that thing. And especially in, for example, like semester one, I have still figured out so many things, and I'm too focused to like and also I have a crush back then. I have someone that I close to, so I really like don't think about that so much. And I still experience so many things and meet new people, which is I don't really know how they are actually. So everyone's still good people for me in my perspective because they're still neutral. They are still new in my life. So I don't really like start to like picking or selecting some people in my environment, because I still try to mix and match my the people that I want to be close with. That's why I think like the first semester is like the safest time in this journey. But for the second semester, actually, because I decided to cut off this one person that I think I have feeling for that person. But I think I decided to not continue because I I start to like weighing the benefits and the bad things that might happen if I continue these things. Actually, there's nothing wrong with us, but after that, okay, the the bad things will be bigger compared to benefits that I might got from these connections, from these relations. And I especially I just go back from Umrah back then, and I feel like Allah will be so mad at me if I do something like this, and I decided to like cut it off. And that's why in the second semester, actually, I don't know why, but every Ganap semester, it's always the time when I don't have anyone to that I like, because that's also what happened in the second semester. I don't like anyone and I don't have interest to anyone, and that's why I don't have any coping mechanism. But why is that I'm not hitting my rock bottom back then? First, because the schedule of my classes, the universities in that time is not full and not that high. The temper is not that high, and I still can be chill. I can still do whatever I want. I even go to the gym at that time because I still have so many things, and I just go to SPBA. That's SPBA is not also not serious community. I feel like I'm having fun, and I also go to Chialfa every Friday's night, and everything just like a fun thing for me that I'm doing so many fun stuff that I like and not having any pressure at that time. I even like the classes that I am attending is so little, like, so yeah, the amount of time is so little because I just the the teacher and the lesson is they're not there, like we're just like finished and we don't have any assignment, we don't have task. I think I there's just like two or one task that ask us to write something, because I hate to write academic academic writing like journals and something. I hate it so much. That's why when we don't get those kind of assignments, I don't feel any pressure because we don't get it. And so many so many lessons, so many class that we don't have any final exams. Even the middle exam, we don't have that. So I don't get any pressure at that time. That's why I think even though I don't have the coping mechanism from crushing on someone or having, yeah, something like that, I still like chill on this life. And also that is also the time when I feel like I have the high feeling and the high expectation to XPBA, and I want to contributing so many things. That's why at the time also I spend so many time in SPBA, and I also start to got noticed by the senior in SPBA and by other people from my generations because I active that time. And also I start knowing debate at that time. There's so many things that makes me happy because I can just doing whatever I want and not in the pressure time. That's what I see at that time. But for the third semester, this is actually like the start of me starting to like this the hard times start to come into my life because I'm going to debate. And I have a crush to the person that teaching me, and actually it's so cool. And the fact that I like someone that teaching me, it makes the progress of me learning debate that actually really hard become not that hard. I mean, it's hard, it's really hard, but I always think when I learned back then that, okay, if I'm getting better, this person will notice me more, this person will like validate my progression, validate my values and so many things. And the fact that I can meet this person, for example, each week, and they can see my progression, it makes my the spirit inside of me to learn debate become higher and higher. And even though I feel so dumb, I feel I make no progression, I lost so many competitions, but I just happy to do that. And also at this semester, actually, I don't really take care of my major of my university lesson lectures. I just fall in love with debate so much, and I spent almost all of my time doing debate. Even in my exam week, for example, I still focusing to debate, and I spent so much money on debate. But also at this time, I lost the person that I have crush on because they go back to their ex and they go back together. That's why I feel like I start to have to at that time. So the half time on this third semester, I have coping mechanism which is I have this feeling. But the other half, I don't have coping mechanism. But at this time, I'm in my denial state, which is I feel like okay, I don't deserve them, and they don't deserve me, and they have so many mistakes. Like I start to listing the bad things that they have, so I actually don't have peace with that. I'm not like letting them go. I feel like I'm more taking a reference to this person and start to looking down, looking bad to this person, which actually just that is just the how I I lie to myself that I'm okay, and I'm not really asking myself about what I'm feeling and why how is the condition actually. That's why this is a really denial feelings, and I start to busy myself with other stuff with this heart heart. But after I go to the holiday, and then I just yeah, in this holiday I start to calm down, and I start to like try to have peace with that and to be okay with that, to letting go to this person. And I start to okay, maybe overreact and I'm in my denial time. And because of that, no, actually, yeah, I start to try think that way, but at the same time I also start to think, okay, if this person go, it means something else is about to come. And i'm I know way this thing can come is I'm not doing anything like to show that I'm ready to receive that. That's why I'm start to like I'm searching for so many new opportunities. And because I've mentioned before that I'm not put so much attention or interest to my major anymore at that semester, that's why I start to looking something else that I can do in for my future and what is my goal actually. Because I don't really want to like back then when I have crushed to this person, I really have the goal like my future is just about debate and how I want to attending the competition, national debate competitions, until I win with that person. And I want to like everything about debate in my life. Like I want to decide it my life to debate only. But after I crashing down and have this heartbreak, I start looking, okay, maybe that's not realistic what I actually want. And that's at that time I realized that I there's okay, this is actually like really amazing because it's actually that's why I think every single moment in your life have a purpose for you. Because I found at the time that I think I love the world. Like I want to see the world. I don't want to stay here. I don't want to like just have the small perspective and small scope in my life. Even and also I just live this life once. That's why I think like I know why I just stay in Indonesia. And I start to really have a serious desire to go abroad and to live abroad and to have a job abroad and continue my life not in this country anymore. Because this is a really really new talk in my head actually. Because back then I also want to explore the world, but back then I only think that it's just for vacation, it's just for having fun and something like that. And I'm not really thinking about that because I think like okay, become a lawyer is a really cool thing, or become a accountant in corporation is really a good thing. And that is the goal that I really want. That's the thing that I believe back then. But after this, I just realized that wait, wait, I really want to live in Europe. And it's not about the prestigious things like to become like a millionaire or something there, but it's more like I want to see a different perspective in this life. And I'm a really curious person. I really want to know new things, but I don't want it from the books or something because it's will add someone's perspective. And I think when it comes to this world, it will be really different if you experience it by yourself. I can say it like this because when I go to, like, for example, to Arab, when I go to Umrah, and when I go to Singapore, when I go to Malaysia, it's it's really different compared to when I just looking from YouTube, for example, or I'm just watching from the live report or something, or reading news about this place. It have a different lesson. You can learn something more deeper when you go by yourself to that place, and you because you can realize a small thing that only can be noticed with your own perspective in your life, with the lesson that you already got in your life. And you go to new places, you are the only one that can notice those things, because the only way to see those things, those small specific things, is by going through a specific things too from the past. And everyone will have a different perspective and different lessons when they are go to new places. And it's something like so unique and so diamond, like like it's so priceless. That's why I think like I want to go I want to live abroad. And actually, the main point here is I don't really think that this wise at first. Actually, I just think that I love Kaiser so much. He is an anime character, and he is from German. I started to, okay, I love German so much and I want to start to live there. But also this decision, besides I love this character, is also got stronger because I have these other reasons that I've told you before. And it's makes everything so much make everything more sense, makes more sense for me. And that's why I start to learning German language. And I don't even think about this before, that how can I learn new languages besides English, because I back then I don't even think that I will. I don't, because I don't have interest anymore in learning English, but right now I learning new languages, which is German, and it's something like new, and I don't even a second thing to learn new languages. I don't have interest to that. But this is the first lesson that I got in this semester. I start to open up to these new languages, and guys, trust me, like this progression, my German progression is insane. Right now, I even can start to understand when I read a news in German, or I can start to speaking in German for a daily basis with GPT, and I also can write down my feeling, even though I know my grammar is like so messed up. But can you imagine that this year, when I start this year, I don't even know German language at all, but right now I kann ein bisschen Sprache in Deutsch und ich auch verstehe, was ist der besten Sprachen für mich. Das ist sehr cool und sehr, ich verstehe und ich kann schreiben und habe ein bisschen, eine bisschen Sprachen mit anderer Person, und ich kann habe diese neue Skill, weil ich starten zum öffnen mein mein Kopf zum der neue Ort oder eine neue Zukunft in meine Leben. And that is sehr cool. Even back then, I'm not even able to understand even one word, and it's so hard to understand new languages. And I just feel like, how can I understand German? But lately I feel like I start to understand that, even though I'm not I'm not following the route that the people teach me. Like, okay, in order for you to understand new languages, in order for you to be able to speak languages, new languages like German, you have to follow these steps, like the E1 and E2 and B1, B2, C1, etc. Because I start to try that, and it doesn't work for me. I don't have the consistency to do so. And I feel so confused because when you don't have a teacher besides you, when you are learning new languages and you want to follow that E1 AB, maybe E1 E2 at and Vita, you might you might get confused. But maybe for some people it works, but for me it doesn't. And it don't fit me the way that mechanism is not fit me. I have to find my own mechanism to do so. That's why I think like, okay, maybe I have to like just I start to continuously have this new habit in my life, that which is I start to learning German, start listening to German and speaking to German, of course doing my Duolingo task every single day. And by the time pass, even though my grammar is still like sehr, sehr schwer, aber ich kann, habe eine Verbessern meine Deutsch at diese Zeit, und das ist sehr, ich bin sehr glücklich und auch sehr äh, dankbar für das. Und ich auch denke, das ist, weil meine Gott ist mir helfen, und das ist auch, weil ich habe diese Motivation in meine selbst und die Konsistenz see in myself. I think that's the first lesson that I got, that I have this new perspective towards life. And I think when you have a new perspective and you just realize you have so many options in this life, it makes you more have peace inside of yourself, and it's more calming. Because if this one option is not become reality, you have so many more things that waiting for you, and maybe so much better for you. And it's always there. It's always like you just have to let yourself see that things, and let yourself think about that. Let yourself, don't solely to yourself to this one thing and just force yourself to love that forever. Because if you start to feel like you not like these things anymore, and you force yourself to still love this thing, and you still, it will just hurt you so much. You hurt uh your soul, your mental. Because this is your intuitions that try to guide you somewhere, and maybe this is also how God helping you to go to the right path, which is suit you the best for your future. But you just ignore it, and you just demonize that. That's why you feel hurt so much. That's actually what I'm feeling. And the second thing is when I when I hit this, and when everything feels dark, I feel like I don't like, the second thing that hit me really hard is the fact that I don't like my major anymore. I feel like I really really hate this major, and that's why I feel I lost my ambitions. I lost motivations to catch up to the class, and every time I saw my friends that getting better and better in this major, I feel like I lost behind. I feel left. I feel like I'm just a failure, etc. Even though if you see me, you have to tell. If I saw myself again, I will tell myself that I'm not like that. Like, I'm doing great. I'm just not appreciate what I've done, and I've already tried much better. Like, maybe someone not even put the effort that I put at that time, and I put so much effort. I just not appreciate that enough, and that's why I feel everything so black, so dark, etc. And that's why, because I'm not dealing with those things, every single things that I'm doing, I start to hate it. For example, this is the community which is to like concerning about the constitution in our country. and this community is actually really really cool. They have so many smart people in there, and there is just a few people that can get accepted to this community, and I'm become one of them. But I start to hate those people because I feel like they're too ambitious and they're not related with my future, because I want to go abroad and they're just talking about this country and I hate this country. And it makes me hate this community so much. But after I hate and I hate and I hate, I start to feel like I I start to feel I start to realize that they are just the external things and the problem actually is inside of me. How the world around me is actually how am I inside. And after I realized that actually it's not like it's just like a few days ago or just this past days, I just realized these things because I'm reading books. So the first thing that I tried, okay, maybe the problem is myself, not them. Maybe because guys, if you are thinking about this, if the people that they're smart and they are good, etc., but they're so ambitious and they love this country and they have a different they have a professions that you don't like, it's totally fine. If they give a good impact to your life, it's totally fine. You can like you still can learn from these people, but you just have to set your boundary on. Like, okay, they want to become a lawyer, for example, want to become a judge or something, and you don't want it and you want to go over it, like it's okay, we still can learn the same thing. For example, like learning new things and discussion and having these competitions and improving ourselves and have the organization, etc. It's totally fine. They're not the problem at all. But the problem at the time is me, because I'm using a bad perspective to these different things inside of my life. And that's why I think the starting point of my life that I start to like finding light again is when I start, okay, I'm messed up. Myself is messed up. The problem is me. And that's why I start to, okay, the first thing that I can control right now is I will have a to-do list in my daily basis again, because I don't using those kind of thing anymore. The last time I'm using it maybe when I back then when I in Corona, I have those kind of lists that I always checklist every day. And also when I hit my rock bottom before I go to university, I also hit my rock bottom. So I think it's really a good lesson. I think when you have a to-do list in your life, like things that the routine, the set routine for the morning and the night, or in your daily life, it helps you a lot to control yourself and to feel like you have the control inside of you have the control over yourself. And it makes you like more appreciate a small thing that you achieve and at that day. And that's why I think, and I also realize every time I hit my rock bottom, the first thing that I do is I have this to-do list. And I think like, okay, maybe from now on I will continue to doing it, even though, for example, I feel like I can control myself already, or I memorized this routine already. But it's different when you can check, you can like having this checklist and on the list, the happiness is different. The dopamine start to spread up inside of your brain. And it's really a good thing for me because I start to appreciate things, and because I keep writing some things that I have to achieve at that day. And even though, for example, I'm not achieving that over and over again, I see it every day that I want to achieve it, but I don't achieve it at all. And realize it or not, unconsciously I start to find a way how to achieve that. And by the time pass, I realize that even though it takes me like 2 months or almost 2 months to do this one thing that I list, but I finally did it anyway. And it's so cool. Just trust the process, trust the time. And it's hard for you to get back to the schedule when you already lost yourself. But then, for example, like me, like I can't control myself back then, and I still like I procrastinate a lot, and I just don't want to do anything at that moment. But by the time pass, you start to having the schedule, you start to make become more disciplined to yourself. And because you can see what is the problem and what actually going wrong, you can evaluate it more more better, like not more, you can evaluate it better, and you can see which sides of yourself that you can improve and you can focus on. That's why that is a really really starting point for me to like take care of myself again. And the third lessons that I got is because I read this book. I read several books that have so many impacts to me, and actually I've decided to myself, I told myself that okay, every time I read this book, I will record it and I will tell you what is the summarize of these books, because the books are so amazing. The what is the subtension of these books is really really amazing. I love that so much, and it helps me a lot to rethink and evaluate and have a reflection to my own self. But I just don't do that. I don't know, it's a discipline again. Like, I'm not that disciplined yet, but yeah, I'm not doing that. But I read this book. So actually, the third lesson that I got is related to perspective. This books it talks about it's talked about wait, I suddenly forgot. Oh, how to become happy in 365 days, which is a year. How to be happy every day. This book's actually really really cool because they're not just talking about the motivational things, but they are saying it from the academical things, from how your brain works, the know your neuroscience. And actually the writer is also a practitioner, which is a doctor of the neuroscience. So the advice that this author gives is really really like so relatable and so rational, and I'm the type of person, if this is more rational and they have a biological reason, I will believe it more. And because their brain, how they're correlated, for example, the feeling of happiness with how this brain works, it makes so much make sense for me. And this is just one sentence that I remember so much. So actually, the word is saying, if the person wakes, so there's a group, I don't know where the place actually, but this group, every time they wake up, they will ask themselves which part of their body is feel sick, or which part of their body is sick at that time. Actually, the context in this book is actually the physical sick, and it's not about, yeah, it's just like a physical sick, like a flu or a fever or like something like that. If someone start their day asking which one is what is wrong with them, with their body, they will they will find the problem, because that is just how our brain works, which is we will always find the problem. Our brain is so smart, they just correlate so many things even though we are not sick, for example, but our brain makes us believe that we are sick because we are asking that questions, even though, for example, it's just our saraf that in that book mentioned. And we just start thinking like we have a heart attack, or we have a diabetes, or we have so many uh really really critical illness that we have in our body, but it's actually not the case. Yeah, this is the point. If you ask about what is wrong, you will always find it. And even though there's that book talking about the real illness, I try to correlate it with my own self. I reflect it. It helps me to reflect to myself that that's actually what I'm doing this whole time. I'm not asking myself about my illness in physics, but I always asking about the problem. Like, what is the things that bad, or actually I asking this question is coming from the good place, which is I want to like take care of that and improve that. But I think I dive too deep to that, which is keep asking where's the problem, and I just keep believing that I have this problem. For example, okay, my childhood gave me this kind of behavior right now, or this close people of my life is having this problem, and these people don't appreciate this enough, etc. And like those sentences, if I keep asking those things, I will give the answer, and the answer is will be so many, because this world is like full of imperfection, guys. And that's why if I keep asking that and asking those questions every single days, and I keep got the answer, it start to burning my mental, and it's like just break it down, and it makes everything become so dark. And the book also said that what you actually have to do is you have to ask what is the good thing. And it's really makes sense for me, like, yeah, that's right, I have to ask what is the good thing that is actually happening, and what is everything that's going well, and what we can improve, because like, oh, this is a good thing, this can be more, this can be better in the future, or something like that. And I said, like, this is a really good thing, and actually it's also like the thing that I always learn from my religion. But I like I've told you in different video, I think it's really different when you learn something, when you apply that knowledge to your life, because you need to face the certain situations in order for you to be able to understand how to apply some lesson that you already learned before from textbook or from class or etc. Which is, you have to have this positive thinking in this life, and you just have to trust God about how your life will go really well, and every single situation is a good lesson for you in just happiness. And because happiness is not a goal, so you can always find the happiness in your life every single days, every single seconds, if you decided to. And I also start realizing to this one friend of mine, which is, she told me that, uh at the time I look at her and I say like, why you always look happy, how can you do that? And she just told me, happiness is something that you can choose, and I choose to be happy. At the time I'm in my rock bottom, and I don't really see that, and I don't really feel like it makes sense. I feel like she just don't go through what I'm going through, and I feel like it's not related to my conditions. Maybe because our condition is different. It works for her, but it's not work for me. I can't do that. But after that, now I realize that that's so true. I can choose that, and the way how to choose the happiness is by seeing what can makes me happy, and so many things that, I should be happy for that to happen in my life, but I'm just not appreciate that enough, and I have to appreciate it more in order for me to be happy. And it's actually bring happiness. For example, like just the fact that you are opening your eyes, the fact that you can still drink something, and you can enjoy your drink, because so many people that have illness, for example, they can't drink the the water because they have this illness. The When they drink something, it just hurts them even more. Like, I start to comparing something like that, and I start to feel like, it's totally fine to look down sometimes when to the people that don't have the privilege and that you have. Because when you see some people situation that below you, you start like be more grateful with your conditions. Because if you are keep looking up, you will not be grateful with what you have, and you start to keep like not enough with everything that you already have. And maybe I also think that maybe this time when I feel really hard, and I feel like something is dark, it's actually the time when my future self would be so jealous for me. Because, for example, I'm getting older, and maybe I don't have the same healthy body like I have today, and I don't have like the same the fresh mine, for example, like I have today, and I don't have so many opportunity that I have today. And it's something that I have to feel grateful for. And every single years you always have like a uniqueness that you can be more grateful, and your future and past can experience that. And it's the only limited time for you to learn those things. And also a different lesson that you I can get from this semester is the another advice that I already know from since I was a kid, a little kid, which is this world is temporary. But I got a new way to apply this advice, which is thinking this life is temporary. It's not just about this life, but it's also every single problem that you are facing, or every single happiness. Everything is temporary, so it helps you to get attached to that things, to those things you will feel. And when you have the realization that everything is will pass anyway, whether you are doing the worst things ever in your life, it will pass. For example, I got an assignment, but I feel like I don't do it really well. And no matter how bad it that I've end the sessions, I will pass it. That time will pass anyway. And also in this university, for example, I feel like so many challenges in life, etc. It will pass anyway. And the fact that I will graduate, and it's just like not long anymore. It's just like I think next year I can graduate. And this next year is the last time I'm in university in Indonesia. Is like this crazy. And after that I will have a new paper again. Maybe I start to go abroad because I have decided myself to do so. It makes me have a peace and just try my best and just be grateful for every single lesson that I got. And just believe it's I don't get something, it's already like it's not for me, meant for me. And maybe God want to protect me from something, or maybe God preparing me for something better. And in order for me to get the better thing is by letting go from this thing, even though I love this thing so much. For example, the debate, this Caldeco, my family, my new friends from Caldeco, that I love them so much, but I have to let them go in order for me to like start have a new desire for go abroad. For example, maybe if I still have Caldeco with me and I still close with them, I will not have the desire to go abroad because I love them so much. And that's just one of the example. There's so many examples, and I think until I die, it will this cycle will keep repeating itself, because it's just how this life works. And if you get something and you feel like it's so hard, I think I don't deserve this, you just have to also realize that it's also from God. And it means he believes you that much. And don't think about the person that give you this position, think about the God that give you these positions. Like, if God is the one who gave you this position, it means he believe in you. And this is God, guys. It means he will also help you along the way. And just ask for himself, and take him in your journey, and you will be okay in at the end of the day. And even though you make a big mistakes that make everyone hates you, it's also maybe God want you to experience those moments. And if I realize this, it brings really peace inside of me. And also another fun fact, actually I realized this when I yeah this month, I think this early days of this month. And the fun fact is, this is the first time I go back to the city and I don't cry at all. And I feel just happiness, because I feel like this is the pride that I'm living on right now. My prayer, my younger self prayer, that I want to have my own life by myself. And I have to have my own decisions and have my own perspective. Because if I'm not going to this different country alone, and I still stick to with my family, I might not have the opportunities to actually know what I actually want, because I keep influenced by their perspective and by yeah, I don't have time for my own self to sit down and think what I actually like, what I actually want, what actually my mission in this world, what I want to achieve, what the kind of people that I want to be close with, and so many things. And yeah, I think this semester gave me a really really beautiful lessons, and I just feel like I I start like having many new experiences now, like just about to start next semester, and I think it will bring so many deep memories again. I think, like, I don't know, but semester ganjil is always the brings a happiness inside of me. I start to have this one person that I interested again, and I don't know why. I always find the person that I might have feeling with every time the my ganjil semester about to end, and it's happened again this time. And besides that, I also become the leader of this division in the community from my faculty, and I'm never go to organization back then, and this is really my first time. I really hope that I can call this as home. Finally, I can find something that I can call home, because besides my real home. And I also go to this group for my final, I don't know, social task. So in university you have to do this, like the you have to do something to social, bring a good impact, in order for you to bring a good impact that you got from university to the real people, to the dorf. What is dorf in English? I forgot. To the village, for example. This is I also got this group, and I will go to this village with them, and I will have so many new experiences, because they from different major. They're from scientific, and I'm from social, so we have a really different background. I think it will become so many. It will be so beautiful memories for me, and also I already planned to revive the Caldeco again, but right now I'm not attached to the person, and I just feel like I just want to have this community in Caldeco, because I love debate, parliamentary debate, and it can be replaced with a lot of big, because the feeling is different. And I know already that I love this parliamentary debate. Even though no one want to go to debate, I will still go into the competition before I graduate, because I think after I graduate and I go abroad, I the changes for me to do this debate is will become less, even though I will still continue my debate in the future, but maybe it will be in the different environment and conditions, and it will bring you different feelings. That's why, as while I still have this time for me to have this experience debate in this country in this time and with these people, I still want to do that as much as possible. That's why I try to revive Caldeco. I hope everything goes well, and because there's so many things that, and also in my university, the lecture that I will get in next semester will be much harder, because I will start to learn how to write for my final work paper. And actually it's really beautiful. I will be really really busy next semester, and also for this holiday I also will start working on my in my father's company, where my father's also working there. I also will work there, and it's will be a really really new experience for me, and I'm really looking forward for that. And for my future me, if you are facing a hard time again, just remember that every single hard time will pass anyway. No matter how bad you are doing at that time, you will pass it anyway. And you have to peace with that. And it brings the peace inside of you, right? Just the fact that everything will pass by, and no matter how hard is that, it will pass. even this life it will pass also. And then also start to find happiness. I also right now reading another book also from psychology. It's also related to happiness, and it's make me my belief to this to the to to searching for the good things, focusing to the good things in my life become stronger, because this book's also telling from the expert perspective about psychology, how the psychology is it's actually should change from the panatology, which is focusing to the problem, and how to how to like um secure, or how to like take care of that so you will be healed. But rather than that, you they also have to start focusing to salutino, I don't know how to call that, which is the good things, how to make people happier and something like that. And this books is also makes me really happy, and I love to reading these kinds of books. Maybe I will start to reading so many things about happiness and people, how to have empathy, for example, and so many more. And yeah, this journey is still so long, and I will still record this kind of videos until I go to abroad and I still live to Germany and Europe. Just wait for that video to come out, okay? And maybe in when I finish my fifth semester, I can finally telling the video in Deutsch, fully Deutsch, because ich kann sprechen in Deutsch jetzt, aber das ist nur ein bisschen, weil mein Vokabeln ist sehr limited. Ich, ich kann sprechen so viel in Deutsch, aber ich kann verstehen mehr, wann ich lesen ein Text oder eine Buch in Deutsch. Aber für mich zum Sprechen in 30 Minuten, das ist sehr viel, sehr lang, und ich kann nicht sprechen in Deutsch in das lang. Ich brauche zum Lernen mehr über meine Deutsch und verbessern meine Deutsch. Und starten starten zum Lernen Spanisch und Italiano. Hola, salve, yo soy Awa. Ja, das ist sehr bad. Meine, meine Italy and mein Spanish is still like really just a few words that I know. Maybe at the end of this year, I also can start understand and speaking and writing in Spanish and Italy more. So in total, how much languages did I have learned? Six, haha. But actually, I don't really count the Arabic because I just learned it when I'm in high school, and I don't really learn it again right now. But I have the desire to relearn it again. But for now, I want to focusing to my improving my German, my Spanish, and my Italianisch. Und das ist sehr cool. Ich kann sprechen 5 Sprachen. Kannst du, kannst du glauben das? Das ist sehr cool. Ja, bis dann. Auf Wiedersehen, alle Leute. Das ist, what is watching in Deutsch? Yeah, whatever is that. Wait, I want to, I don't know lagi. Ciao, 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 ciao.